My brothers and sisters, let me just talk to you just for a brief moment about the word Lent, and also once again how we calculate the beauty of Easter, how we come up with this date again. The word Lent actually stems from Saxon roots, and it simply means this: spring or springtide. And that's why every year during spring we celebrate Lent. It only makes sense. If its roots are about spring and springtime, it makes no sense to talk about this during winter or the months of summer. So we celebrate it when we do. Now remember about Easter, everyone, and how it's calculated. It's really pretty simple. Okay, I'll go through it twice. Think carefully. First Sunday after the first full moon after March 20th. Okay, one more time. First Sunday after the first full moon after March 20th. So after March 20th, what are we looking for? First full moon, and the following Sunday. Now, believe it or not, it can fall as early as the 22nd of March, or be as late as the April 25th. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the variable with the first full moon. Okay, this year it's April 20th. I looked ahead into the calendar. Next year it will fall on April 5th when it comes to Easter Sunday. Okay? 3 thoughts on the Transfiguration story. Number 1, what does the word transfigured mean? Okay? It really means this, everyone, listening to a commentary, to go beyond one's form. I'll give you some examples. A seed becoming a flower. A tadpole becoming a frog. Okay, a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. In each one of those stories, everyone, the essence, the form is not lost, but it is exalted. Think about a seed, everyone. When a seed becomes a flower, the seed isn't lost. For without the seed, there is no flower. Instead, the seed, everyone, is exalted in a way that only God can comprehend. That's what we mean today when we talk about the Transfiguration. Okay? Jesus' human form is not lost. As a matter of fact, we hear that he can still speak. Okay? But rather, it is exalted. How many of you ever seen someone's face that shows as bright as the sun? I haven't. How many of you can wash clothes that become so white that it becomes like snow? I can't. I've never seen it. Okay, and so while the form remains, what really happens, everyone, is that it is exalted. And it can only be done by the hand of God. Okay? Transfigured to go beyond one's form. Okay, thought number 2. Once again, during this Lenten time, please notice the number 3. We're heading for a journey in which Jesus will be in the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights. But we've been just pounded with this number 3 so far. On Ash Wednesday, we were told to do 3 things during Lent. Matthew's Gospel. What were they? Pray, fast, and give alms. Last week, Jesus was tempted by the devil how many times? 3 times. Now, today, Jesus takes 3 disciples, Peter, James, and John, up on a mountain, and with this Transfiguration story, how many booths does Peter say should be built? 3. Okay? This isn't an accident. This is getting us ready for Jesus' death and resurrection. And now in this story, everyone, we can take it to a degree greater now than when Jesus was baptized. Remember when Jesus was baptized, the words of the Father were this: "This is my beloved Son with whom I am well pleased." Here, 3 words are added. "This is my beloved Son with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." And now notice how selfish Peter is. You see, Jesus just told him that he would die. that they're going to Jerusalem so he can suffer and die. And he tells them, deny yourself, take up your cross, and you follow me. And so Jesus takes Peter, James, and John up on this high mountain to be transfigured. And Peter makes a suggestion, let's build three tents, three booths in the hope that they can stay put. But Jesus speaks up and says, Peter, we must go. And Peter has to listen to it. Where do you find in that the selfishness of Peter? Here it is. They stay put. Where does that leave the other 9? Ever wondered? What about them? Okay? So in that we see a bit of selfishness. Okay? Third point I want to make today is on Moses and Elijah. You've heard this story so many times, everyone. You've heard why Moses is there, why Elijah is there. Moses represents the law. Elijah represents the prophets. I'm not even going to go there. So I don't want to give you a different twist of why they're there. Do you know how Elijah's life ends? The end of his life, he's taken up to heaven in a fiery chariot. Strange. Moses? Well, everyone, he's on the verge of the promised land. He goes up on a mountain. He gets to see it. He can't go into it. And when he sees it, we never hear from him again. It's kind of a strange twist. That's another reason why we hear about Moses and Elijah. They're perfect for the transfiguration because they point now to Jesus' end and how strange that will be. No, he won't go up in a fiery chariot. No, he won't go up on a mountain and we'll never hear from him again. Instead, everyone, he will die and then he will rise. Okay? Something we never fathomed. Okay? Just 3 thoughts I want to offer on the transfiguration today. Second thing I want to talk about, this is the weekend throughout the Diocese of Winona, we kick off our annual diocesan appeal. It's a different format this year. So I just want to point out some things in regards to the appeal just to kind of clarify it for you today. First of all, the annual diocesan appeal was tied into our capital campaign last year. And so I usually give you results from how we did last year, but because it was tied to the campaign, there are no results. Okay? So we move on to the next point. As has always been done, a direct mailing was sent to every household in the Diocese of Winona. The mailing took place on March 13th, and the mailing was enclosed a letter with a response device, brochure, and return envelope. All will be encouraged to mail in their gift, or if you want, like you've done in the past, bring it, throw it in the collection basket, give it to me, or you can return your gift to the parish on commitment weekend. Okay, this is a little different. So we move on to that point. This year's appeal will be greatly condensed. Very short. Okay, due to parishes still wrapping up their Rooted in Faith, Rejoice in Hope capital campaign. The kickoff will be this weekend, with the commitment weekend being the weekend of April 5th and 6th. It's only going to be 3 weeks. Okay, so everything is going to happen very, very quickly here. Okay? In the past, the NPU appeal occurred this weekend. For this appeal, it will take place on commitment weekend, April 5th and 6th. On that weekend, people will have the opportunity to fill out a card designating the amount they would like to give, similar as we did for the Rooted in Faith capital campaign when we did our last weekend. Okay? Parishes will be returned 100% of the funds exceeding their goal. For this year and this year alone, the requirement to submit a project designation to receive 100% funds over goal will be waived. In the past, we had to come up with some type of project, send it to the diocese, and with that money, we could use that for that. We could use it for the project. Anything we received 100% over goal, we don't have to do that this year. Okay? Parish project waived. Listen carefully. This also means parishes ending short of the goal will be invoiced for the shortfall in January 2015. So if we fall short, we have to make up the difference. Just some figures of how much to give. If every family gave, the goal for St. John Vianney is $43,860. Believe it or not, 720 families. That's what's on the books here. Every family gave, you'd have to give $60. Holy Family, $4,360 is the goal. If every family gave, they would have to give $65. I'm real here, though. Every year, the number seems to be about 25% of people who give. Okay? So that being the calculation, 25% of families gave from St. John Vianney, and 25% of families gave from Holy Family. If each person gave roughly $250, we'd both make our goal. Okay? All right? That's just real. Seems to be 25% every single year. Okay? So again, we've done well with this in the past, and I'd encourage us to do so again this year. So please be generous, and let's once again pray for the success of our appeal. In the meantime, let's continue to pray to the transfigured and resurrected Jesus Christ.